Hey there, what's going on everyone? This is Sue again. I hope you guys are doing well. I want to talk to you guys about something a little bit different in this video. In this video, I want to share with you some strategies and some tips that can help you guys pay off all your debts. Get rid of all your credit card debts, your student loans, your personal loans, your auto loans, those types of debts that's just holding you back, right? It's just putting a lot of stress in your life and on your finances and stuff. And, I know that some of you guys may be thinking like, man, Sue, I've been in debt for so long already and I barely make enough to pay these stupid, debts, these credit cards and stuff, There's no way that I can get out of debt. Well, I'm here to tell you that it's possible because, this is coming from personal experience. My wife and I, we owed a lot of money too. We owed over $50,000 of consumer debt, credit card payments, auto loans, and my student loans as well. Combined, it was over $50,000. But we made a decision. We've been out of debt now for over 3 years. And prior to that, so we made a decision to, if we're going to start a family, if we're going to buy a house, if we're going to, have more in life, we need to get rid of this burden of, just debt, right? This consumer debt. And, I've been struggling with debt. I've built up debt ever since I graduated from high school, right? Ever since I became an adult, I've had debt. I started off with a small little credit card and it accumulated over the years just from just living, right? I mean, just going through the motions. And, we've all been trained and taught by society to accept that it's okay to owe the credit cards and it's okay to have instant gratification and, it's cool to have a big credit limit and stuff like that, right? But, it's not, I'm not telling you that, debt is a bad thing, right? Because there are different purposes for debt, right? Debt is just a two-edged sword or whatever, right? The saying goes, right? You got to be careful how you use it. It can cut you or you can use it for good work. But for the general public, the average consumer, debt is bad, right? When we're talking about like credit card, auto loans, student loans stuff, those are the things that you really don't need to have those kind of burden on yourself. But I want to share with you how we got out of debt. It took us 2 years to pay off that $50,000. It was the quickest time that we ever thought was possible, but we did it because, we really committed. So the first thing you got to do is, first, you got to get yourself to that state. You're probably there already, where you have leverage over yourself. Tony Robbins, he talks about, how you can get change in your life, right? And for someone who is always fearful of something like a phobia or they have a certain thing that they don't want to do, the thing to get them to change is to have leverage over themselves. So if you are at that state right now where you just hate debt, right? You're just so stressed, so tired of, you're just sick and tired of being sick and tired of having all of these payments, right? Once you get yourself to that state, if you're there already, then that's good. You want to use that frustration, use that for your motivation, right? And if you're not there yet, let's say you only owe like $10,000 and you're thinking in your head like, oh, that's just $10,000. People owe way more than that. I'm still good. I'm still able to pay that monthly payment. I can still do that minimum payment. No worries there. Well, you need to get yourself to the state because you need to convince yourself that, hey, if I want to succeed, if I want to do more in life, I need to get rid of it. So, what if you lose your job? What if you have a big emergency and you lose all your money or something, right? Now you still have this monthly payment and, that $10,000 that you used to think that's nothing. Now it's a huge burden on you, right? So you got to get rid of that. That just relieves you a lot of stress. I can tell you, when we became debt free just 3 years ago, about a little over 3 years ago, that was just the biggest relief that we could have ever, felt, financially. It was just such a, like, you could feel your chest, you can breathe again, like that commercial on TV, where that person is laying down and an elephant sits on their chest, right? They can't breathe. I know that's for a different commercial, right? But that's how I felt. That's how we felt when we owe so much money, and a big portion of our paychecks were going to pay off just the minimum payments, and it was just not a good way to live, right? So I know that you guys, feel the same way. If you're in debt, you feel the same way, right? So I'm just going to give you a few strategies right now, right? I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a series of videos to give you different ideas and different strategies to help you, along the way. But right now I want to give you some foundational stuff to help you at least start building yourself and start moving yourself away from debt and getting debt out of your life, It's okay, before I used to think that you don't even want to get a credit card anymore, don't want to do any of that, right? But I've come to a different understanding now that, if you go through this program, if you overcame debt, right? I think you would understand and appreciate how to use it properly and how not to use it, right? So if you're out of debt already and you got yourself out of it, I think that it's okay to have, a credit card or a line of credit as backup, just in case your own emergency fund is, not working or whatever, right? So don't get me wrong, I'm not telling you guys to not have credit cards forever, because in this society, they use credit to, to give you loans, to give you, jobs and stuff. They look at your credit score, so it's still useful. Personally, I still don't have a credit card because, I'm not there yet. But, I think in the near future, it might be in our future, just because, we have a business now and we're needing to use different resources for different things. So anyways, let's get down to it, right? So number one, right, is leverage. Get yourself to the state where you really need to get out of debt. You have to, no matter what. You just hate it and you just don't want that stupid debt in your life anymore. If you get that stage, that's perfect. That's a good foundation. Step number two is, before you start any debt program, before you start trying to pay off a little bit extra here, there, and there, whatever, work on building an emergency fund. Most people don't have emergency funds. They actually live paycheck to paycheck. So when something happens, when a car breaks down, when, just an emergency arises, they're stuck. They can't even rely on their credit cards because they're already maxed out. So that just adds more pressure to you. And then you're going to be stressed out. You're going to, treat your friends and your families, badly or different or whatever, right? So build an emergency fund. Even if it takes you a while, right? Just start building an emergency fund. And the goal is to build $1,000. So before you do anything, before you even try to pay off extra debts, just focus on building the foundation, because this is laying the groundwork, right? If you don't do this, you're going to be that person like I was, trying to do it alone, trying to go at it, trying to use intellect and just pay stuff and just like whatever, right? But life happens. And when life happens and you're not prepared, you're gonna suffer a little bit. So prepare. Leverage. The number two tip is to save $1,000 as your emergency fund. Put that away. Don't touch it. There's no reason for you to touch it unless it's a true emergency. All right, not a big sale or whatever, right? A true emergency. So leverage $1,000. Once you have $1,000, right? Once you have $1,000 emergency fund, then you go into the planning stage where you actually budget. And that's a hard thing for a lot of people to do, but it's necessary. You have to do it. So you budget, and the easiest way to budget is to use cash only. So you break down all your expenses, your bills, and your credit card and your debt payments. Break everything down. Just add up all the minimums of your debt, right? Of all your debt payments, and look at all your expenses, the money that goes out, and you want to itemize everything, right? Itemize everything and see exactly where your money has been going, so you know where you're spending and where and once you figure out where you're spending, right, that's kind of like it's like a light switch turning on in a dark room, right? See, a lot of people, they go through life spending without even noticing it, because they're using their debit cards and their credit cards. When they go to a place, they go to Starbucks or whatever, right? Instead of, you know, I mean, they just swipe, right? They just swipe and they don't even think about how much it's costing them, right? That little cup, you know, the smallest one, you know, whatever that size is called, that's like what, $3-4 or whatever, right? And people just swipe like nothing. And they do that like throughout the day. They'll just spend maybe like, you know, $7-8 just on Starbucks alone. And then they wonder like, why am I, you know, why don't I have enough money? You see what I mean? So do a budget. Go through your expenses, go through your bank statements and see what you've been spending your money on. That will turn on a light switch for you, because, and you'll see, you'll start to realize and see, hey, you know what? You know, I bring home enough money, but it's just that I've been, you know, dishing it out so much in all these little places, you know, that it's not really that important. So that's the 3 tip for today, okay, guys? And I'm going to start building up on that as well. But the 3 tip for today, of course, you know, leverage $1,000, savings, emergency savings, and then do a budget. You know, track your expenses and see where the money is going. Once you get that, you'll have a much better, a much clearer picture on how to set yourself up to get out of debt. In the next videos and the next videos following, I'll share with you some specific strategies to help pay those payments down in a strategic way, okay? I hope that was helpful for you guys. Let me know, you know, this is the first video and I haven't done any other videos or any other planning yet, so I'm just kind of going with it, and I'm just going to base it off of your guys' feedback. So if you have any questions for me, or if you like this video and you want me to do a lot more of these, I'll continue it for you guys and give you guys the same strategies that I use, and you know to help you get out of debt as well. Oh, before I finish, I'm going to tell you the resource, right? So search online for Dave Ramsey. He is the guy that I followed, and you know, he has a lot of great teaching. He's got a great book. It's called Total Money Makeover. That's the only book that I ever read, right? I didn't do any other thing of his. I didn't do any Financial Peace University and stuff, but I've heard that it gives you a lot of great results. So if you're interested, go do that too. But I just bought the book, you know. And in fact, I didn't buy the book. I just bought the audio book. I just listened to it in my car while I'm driving. And it's just, you know, you hear it and hear it over and over and over, and it starts to stay in your mind. And then also, if you're in a local area or whatever, he's also on the radio. So look for him. Type his name for, you know, Dave Ramsey radio show, and see if it's in your area and listen to it at that specific time. That's what I did every single day. I listened to his book and I listened to him on the radio, and you know, just kept my mind with different ideas and just staying on target, because you know, it's good to keep that in your mind all the time. So anyways, I wanted to give you that, so if you wanted to, you know, start learning a little bit more, then you can, you know, get his book and start listening and get the strategies. But I'm still going to make some more videos here if you guys want me to, and give you guys some extra tips and give you some more personal experience stuff that, you know, maybe it's just motivation for you guys, because you know that someone, you know, else is doing it or has done it, and I can help you some more. All right, guys, I think that's enough for today, right? If you have any questions, again, put it in the comment section below. If you like this video, like it and share it with your buddies on your Facebook and stuff. All right, until next time, guys, I hope you have a wonderful day, okay? Peace.